Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
This is the Couples Lounge, man. I'm your boy, Remon Tuck, Capital Man, Remon Tuck, 1911. Yo, my sexy chocolate. Don't you start. I'm representing. This is my sexy chocolate chip, Candace. We're the dynamic duo called the Couples Lounge. Well, we do this every Saturday, man. We're talking about love, marriage, relationships, everything pertaining to it. So if you're looking for that good quality podcast of two adults speaking and talking like adults, we're the show for you.
This is 30 years.
Woo!
30 years together. And I miss Tuck. He said Candace. He know
I said my chocolate chip.
I know, but I miss Tuck.
Okay,
Miss Tuck.
I say that.
Y'all
now.
y'all be like that with y'all husbands. I don't. When he called me Candace, I be like, what? Why you calling me Candace?
I don't know why you do that
Like,
either.
what? Call me baby. Something. I don't know. It's just it sounds crazy, Candace coming out of his mouth. But yeah. So if this is your first time tuning in, you got something in store for you. You want to go grab your boo thing and tell them, come on, because we are famous for giving you something to talk about. And you need to make sure that you subscribe
Yes.
to the channel on today. Tell somebody and share this show as you go and watch the rest of our shows. We've been doing this for a minute, y'all. So
Absolutely. Baby, tell them real quick before we get started. You got to tell them what we got coming up in October.
y'all got to stay tuned. We're going to tell y'all about halfway in. So you got to stay with us to find out what's going on with the Couples Lounge in October.
Yeah, man. Hold on. We just had our youngest daughter graduated. You don't need to know about where she's going to school, but she graduated college, man. Our baby
She graduated
girl,
high school.
High school, baby girl got out of high school. My mama called me and was like, "Why you ain't post her graduation?" I'm like, I don't know. High school graduation is just not.
I haven't posted them because I just got them off the camera, but they are coming.
Yeah,
don't do my baby like that. You post everything. Well, no, you don't post everything else. But
I don't know.
So
Like you supposed to graduate high school. I'm happy, but it ain't like, oh my god, man. Graduate college, I'll be that way.
Yeah. So y'all see what y'all about to get. We just gonna be us. Welcome to the Couples Lounge, where we just have conversations and we are very intimate with y'all. So you gotta talk back to us also in the comments, and we'll make sure we respond to you. So today's show, I saw Keon talking to Pastor Brian, and I was like, oh my gosh, Shawnee, thank you. Thank you. Keon said he had an issue with the we need to talk. Why that?
Oh, you said we need to talk. Oh, never mind.
Is that like a response that just most men give?
Yeah.
Why?
And I've said this to you.
We ain't had this trouble though in some years though.
But when you hear the word "we need to talk," again, more times than not, I'm trying not to speak in absolute, but more times than not, it's about us.
Okay.
About me, about the man. When I say us, the man. When your woman says that, some you didn't do, you should have done, some you ain't say, you should have said, or something more times than not, probably negative pertaining to you as the man. So when we hear that, with the first thing we think, oh my God, what now? What I do now? What I do?
And see, roundabout, Keon pretty much had the same sentiments. It was, what did I do wrong? And Shawnee,
I didn't even see it, but how did I know that?
This is what Shawnee had to say, which is like,
how did I know that?
I'm like, we gotta have a show. She was like, why do you have to feel like you did something wrong? Why is it that it is a concern and not a complaint. And he was like, he never saw it like that before.
Say that one more time. Why is it what?
Why is it not looked at as I have a concern versus I have a complaint?
Because
and
more
why
times
is it that
it is a complaint.
You think you did something wrong? Because the moment you look at it as she coming to me because I did something wrong, yes, defense mechanisms
because
jump
history
up the
has
wall.
shown more times than not it is a complaint and it's something I done wrong. That's why.
And so it's perception or perspective. And a lot of times that wrongness too, that feeling of it could stem from childhood as well, from the little boy made to feel wrong. That's coming into play. It's coming into play. No. Because it is. It definitely is.
I promise you, more times than not, the brother is that way because his wife, every time she says we need to talk, she's talking to him about something he didn't do, should do something
but why does it
in
have
the marriage.
But why does
nothing about his childhood?
But no, she ain't talking about something in the childhood. But I'm saying making you feel wrong, making you feel like I did.
Yes.
But why does it have to be? I did something wrong.
Because every time you want to talk to me, it's about something wrong.
But why does it look like it's a wrong? What if it's I have a concern because I see something, and that something don't necessarily have to be just about y'all. I see something in the marriage that if we don't address this, we don't look at this.
I agree, but more times than not, when you say we need to talk, and it ain't got nothing to do about that. It got something to do with me. And it's amazing how you said Keon said that. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that show. But it's amazing he said pretty much what I'm saying.
But his thing was from a growth mindset that he did look at it like that, and it took Shani telling him that it's not a complaint. You didn't do nothing wrong. This is a concern. So it was a growth moment for him because it was like I just always looked at it like this. Before even getting with Shani, even in his other marriage, people coming and having to say something to you. And if you, the thing about it is, if you doing it with your wife, that same thing is happening in other places. If that is your response, I don't care who it is. If that is somebody coming to you to give you
we need to talk. Oh hell, what I do?
We need to talk, or I'm calling you to my office, or something, and
first thing you're thinking that negative. Hey man, what can I do something?
Right. So the thing is, why go straight to negative versus this is an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for change. Why do you think we?
But that's a very thin. Yes, it is a opportunity for growth, but it's masked behind you did something wrong. Yes, it's an opportunity for growth. You can say that, but ultimately you did something you shouldn't have done or should have done, and you didn't do it more times than not. But you can mask it. I'm not gonna say mask it because that's a bad choice of words. But yes, every mistake is a chance for growth. But saying it's a chance for growth is just putting some perfume on when you've been outside, some cologne on, and you've been outside doing the yard, working out. Bro, you stink, but you putting on some cologne. That's all that is. But does that mean you can't grow from it? No, it does not. Heck yeah, you can grow from it. Of course you can grow from it. That mistake can be something you learn from, grow from, and be a better person. But it's still a mistake.
You can look at it a mistake. That is one way you can look at it and not have. The thing is, how can you look at it where it don't have heat on it? And I'm not just saying this ain't just for a man conversation, because I've been in a situation as well. And he might not have said we need to talk, but it felt like a complaint and not a concern. And then I had some type of feelings behind it. So it stems from our perspectives. It stems from our core beliefs as to how we get to choose to see it. Is it a complaint or is it a concern? But it's some other stuff that go along with making it feel like one or the other. And so I'm gonna read y'all what it says about the definitions. A complaint, something that is the cause or subject of protest or outcry. Express dissatisfaction or an annoyance about something. A concern, it says.
Hold on, read that part again.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Complaint is something that is the cause or subject of protest or outcry. Express dissatisfaction or annoyance about something, whereas a concern is to be a care, trouble, or distress. Two, then it has anxiety and worry. So those are what it's saying the difference is.
And so you can easily say your concern.
Your complaint.
You know, you can easily say you have a concern when in reality you have a complaint. You can easily, no, this is just a concern. No, what you said is a complaint.
And then I try to put it in, like, for me, I have to try to make it make sense in my mind. What's the difference? And so I thought about either school or then I thought about like at Walmart. If you have a concern, I see a wet spill and I go and I report it. Y'all, it's a wet spill over there. When it's a concern, it more times than not don't just concern you.
Yeah.
It's the well-being of others as well. Whereas it is a complaint, I done failed and I done hurt myself. Now I'm supposed to go complain. Who am I complaining to? Because I done got hurt. You don't care about nobody else in that moment. And so it is knowing the difference. What you take into your spouse, is it a complaint where it just totally focuses on you and the benefit of you? Or is it a concern and it focuses on both of us,
right,
and the marriage,
right,
and the kids? It is more than just us as to why I'm bringing this to you. And I think as women, okay, you want to see what?
No, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
I think as women, we are attentive to a lot in our marriages, with our spouses, with our marriages, and prayerfully we're that in tune and in touch with ourselves. But in reality, I can speak for myself. It wasn't like that for me at the beginning, where I was focused on me just as much as I was focused on him. That shift didn't happen until later on. But it is definitely knowing the difference in the two. And as we are seeing things, we are more vocal. So we're coming to y'all to say, I'm seeing this. And then if you don't know how to bring it, if you starting off the conversation with you always, you never, and I'm talking, this is across the board now.
Right.
You starting off the conversation negatively, more than likely that conversation, the first 3 minutes is gonna let you know how this about to go. If you come to me with them absolutes, or why you didn't do this, or your energy lets you know if it's a complaint or concern.
Yeah.
As well. Your tone of voice.
Yeah.
And so it says a complaints, tone of voice, are usually communicated with a very negative tone and attitude. They may have an aspect of blame. Sometimes they sound angry, while other times they have more of a whiny tone. A concern seems to be communicated in more of a controlled way, although there are clearly be an undertone of worry and anxiety. Concerns are typically shared in a calmer, less vital manner.
Okay. But here's
and again, I ain't even talking about men and women. This is just communication, because communication is a barrier in relationships.
Right.
And I think it is men that do complain, and there are men that have concerns and genuinely come to his wife with concerns.
Yeah, but once you're married, both parties at some point will have a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
For men to act like that's only women, that's insane.
Yeah.
We complain too.
Mm-hmm.
We have concerns too.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the key:
Mm-hmm.
is figuring out or identifying, is this a concern or is she complaining right now?
Mm-hmm.
Is he concerned about this or this brother just complaining? Baby just complaining about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That's the first step. 2 is what they're saying true?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're complaining about something that is true, I need to calm down. The hell I'm getting defensive for? It ain't like you lying to me.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like you complain about something I ain't doing. No, I ain't do that. I didn't. You didn't take out the trash. I'm tired of you not taking out the trash. I'm complaining about you constantly leaving the trash. It's piling up in the kitchen. The hell am I getting defensive for? I can clearly see the trash over there piling up.
But you making me wrong.
But I am wrong. And that's where, as you will put, growth comes into place. If you're wrong, own that. You're wrong. It's okay. We're wrong sometimes. I'm wrong sometimes. You're wrong sometimes. And if you are, own that. Own that.
Yeah.
I think the problem is a lot of times when one point, this can go either way. And we can easily, for men, and we can easily say this, that women don't like to be wrong. And if they're wrong, yeah, it's 100 excuses or reasons why you're wrong instead of just saying, you know what, my bad, babe, I was wrong. I am. Y'all want women in general to have a hard time doing that. But I think both parties can. But if it's hard to talk with someone when they're not wrong or won't accept they're wrong, coming with excuses of why they're wrong, instead of just, you're right. My bad. I'm sorry. And generally mean it. If a person can own their wrong and generally mean that apology that they're giving, if they're giving it, that conversation will go so much smoother. So much smoother. You just got to be an adult and accept when you're wrong. Own it.
And I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go into responding to that, and being mindful of being critical in your criticism. A concern can feel like a complaint when you're being critical with your words. You just shifted. It generally can be a concern, and it can affect the whole family. You coming because this is affecting not only you, it's affecting me, it's affecting. But when you come and it feels critical and it's criticism, it's gonna feel like a complaint. And the goal is to, what felt more loving to me is to bring concerns. Even if I feel like this just affects me, can I see it from a whole perspective? Can I bring it from a whole perspective? Is what I'm talking about even worth a conversation? Because sometimes in relationships we arguing about stuff that don't mean a pile of beans. Like that, like even if you use a trash situation. I know some women are totally against taking out the trash. I ain't touching no trash if I got a man. Look, Candace, I ain't wasting no energy on arguing with him about no trash not being taken out. If it's high enough and it's light outside, I'll take the trash out. Now if it's dark, I ain't going on side of the house. But it's like, what are we really complaining about? You know, when it is a complaint. And to go back to what you said, it literally, y'all, it goes back to our core beliefs. When somebody is bringing you up, it can be a concern. They can be talking just as calm as they want to come. No type of negative energy. But if you hold a belief of not good enough, I'm stupid, I keep messing up, I can't get nothing right. If you hold those beliefs, in you, because a lot of times it literally is unconscious. You don't even realize you holding the belief. That's why you gotta go and do your work. You gotta come to see a life coach, go see a counselor. There are a lot of beliefs and things that we are holding unconsciously. We don't even know why we keep responding like that. Like you like, but I did mess up. Well, why am I feeling like this?
Right.
Because they have touched on a core belief that you have about yourself, and it don't feel good. So you respond with a ride, and like he said, it make it hard to talk to somebody who won't admit, or you keep deviating from what the person is saying, and you don't want to accept it. But again, that's a defense mechanism that lets you know that something is going on in you that needs to be healed. It needs to be healed. And I know he probably get tired of me saying how much stuff refers back to childhood.
But that ain't when you're
What?
that what you're it can be, but in those situations when the wife, and we're speaking on that because that's Shawnee was talking about. So when the wife is about constantly, we need to talk. We need to talk. When the wife is constantly telling the husband more times than not feel a certain way because their wife says that to him or said that to him a lot. That ain't got nothing to do with the childhood. My wife is saying this to me a lot. So therefore, when my wife says it, I got a problem. I'm feeling a certain way because Negro, you constantly saying it.
So
do some childhood may have it that ain't got nothing to do with childhood because you as my wife and you're constantly telling me that. And when you're constantly telling me that, you complaining about something I did. So therefore, I do feel a certain kind of way. That, in my opinion, ain't childish.
So if you are triggered, it's something there that's causing you to be triggered.
You constantly saying something I did wrong or complaining about something. So it's like, oh my God, what is this woman saying now?
But you realize you don't have to respond like that?
You don't have to. No, we don't.
So the question is, why would you
because
respond
we're
like
tired
that?
Because I'm so sick of hearing about something I did wrong.
So
or you're complaining about something.
Why is it causing you sick of it?
Right.
So, but why are you triggered by that?
Because this is done frequently.
Okay.
Frequently.
Okay.
When something is done frequently and it's saying I'm dead or doing something in a negative manner, it is going to make me respond negatively.
Because
baby, because that's how people respond negatively when people are saying you're complaining about saying something I done something in a negative manner and you constantly bring it to me. Now I have a negative feeling when you're saying that to me.
But that's a choice.
Yeah, everything is a choice.
Yes, and so you got to look at yourself as, why am I getting triggered? Why is that?
Because I'm tired of this woman saying this to me. I'm tired of this. Every time I come home,
let me tell you something.
I'm tired, and I'm just that ain't the case. But
you got to be willing.
I'm speaking for a lot of men right now.
You got to be willing to go deeper than, oh, it's because you keep saying that to me. Because I'm gonna tell you, I can put money on it that your response to your wife, if somebody else was to come to you and had a complaint about you, you are going to have some emotions, whether you say it out because you're at work, so you can't respond to your wife. Most people don't.
Nah, if your partner's hit you, bro, we need to talk. You ain't feeling the same way you are when your wife tells you that. I guarantee you, you're not.
We need to talk. I'm talking about actually coming to you with a complaint about you.
We respond that way when we hear the words, because that was the name of the show. So we're not going to switch it. We're not going to change the goal, move the goalpost. Okay, it might not be the name of the show, but what Shawnee said, when we need to talk, when we hear those words, the man fit. You gonna take. What did you say in the beginning?
Baby, the show is it a concern or a complaint?
But what did you say about what did Shawnee say?
That was the
that's what we're talking about. Yes,
no,
about we need. Okay. How's that not what? Wait a minute. I need to hear something.
Y'all about to have y'all are getting a real moment right now.
So you're going to tell me we're not talking about what Shawnee said when the man hears, when Keon has a problem, when I hear the words, when he hears the word, we need to talk. We haven't been talking about that.
No, we have been talking
Okay,
about
that's
that.
my point.
That
The point I'm making is when we hear the words, we need to talk, bro. We need to talk from your partners. We're not responding. We don't have the same feeling that we feel when our wife said, and it ain't got nothing to do with childhood. We have that feeling from our wives and have a totally different feeling from our partners or your friend because our friend more times than not ain't always coming to us, bro, we need to talk. Bro, we
No,
need to talk.
but
Bro, we need to talk. We don't hear that a lot from them.
wait,
So
wait,
therefore,
you
when we
don't.
hear that, we're not triggered.
You're not
But when
triggered
we hear
because
it from our wives, we're triggered because we hear it frequently.
No, you're not triggered because it's not from your friends, because you're not assuming that they're coming to you to talk about something that needs to change or something that needs to shift. You thinking they just coming to y'all ain't talking to know each other like that.
No,
So
if
you're
I
not
heard
even
from my bro,
thinking
we need to talk. I
you
know
not
it's something
you
serious.
yeah, but you're not thinking it's about you. You're thinking, oh, what do you want to talk about?
Okay.
That's a totally different. We needs to talk versus if your boss call you into the office and send you need to come into my office because I need to talk to you. That call in the office will more than likely trigger the same thing your wife is saying, because in your mind now you feel like I've done something wrong versus
Right.
I'm looking at this as, okay, what is the concern? What's the perspective? What man or woman? If you have a what have I done wrong? Because I've been in that situation where whether it's with him, whether it's with a boss, but the moment that I shifted my mindset to say, just because somebody want to talk to me, that don't mean I done something wrong. And if I did do something wrong, okay, let me hear what it is that I've done wrong so I can see, is this something that I can change? What are we talking to? So I held it differently because my perception changed. And when I go back to look to see why am I triggered? When you are triggered, period, point blank, because there's some people out here that somebody can come to them and they live in such a peaceful life. Somebody, they spouse coming to them and saying, oh, we need to talk. It's okay, babe. What's up? This much. How are we gonna grow? Everybody ain't triggered by the we need to talk. So you got to ask yourself, why am I triggered? Okay. Why do I have these emotions? And it has to be looked at. If you really want to heal and you really want to get to a place where you don't feel that feeling, you got to find out what the root of it is. Because it could be this woman today. If you ain't with her and you get with somebody else and you still have the same feeling, then you got it. It ain't about all other people. You got to look at, what is it that's triggering me about this? Again, it'll go to the core beliefs. It'll go to something that you have experienced in life where you have been made to feel wrong, even if that's your first thought. If I did something wrong is my first thought, because I need to talk could be, she literally might have a concern. And it does have to do with you. But it also could have to do with the whole family. Like, baby, if you keep doing this, if I come to you and say we need to talk because I have a concern about you, whatever them little things you be smoking. What them little things you always smoking?
You talking about the vape?
Yeah.
Vape. Oh, girl,
that's vaping.
Yeah, that's vaping. What the hell you thought it was? Little
I don't know what I thought that was.
Hey, man, you do, Lord Jesus.
So if I come to you and I'm like, if I come and like, why you keep smoking that stuff and you vaping and you just don't care about it, I'm complaining.
Yeah, you're complaining.
But if I'm coming to you, baby, you vaping. Right. What's in the thing? You putting it on, you're charging it up so it's got electric. What is this that you are even smoking? So it's a concern because I love my husband.
I totally agree. I feel that. I feel the difference. But generally speaking, because I've heard this several times from a whole, but I've heard this, and any man watching it that's married has heard this from other brothers too. Generally speaking, when a woman says we need to talk, more times than not, from previous experience that brothers had with his woman, it is a complaint, not a concern. Period. So therefore, when we hear those words and we know a complaint is coming and probably some heat behind it too, it's hard to not think negative when you hear those words. It is. It's just no getting around it. It's a universal term that'll piss a man off. You think it's a coincidence that most men get upset and triggered when they hear their woman says we need to talk. That is a universal term that will upset a lot of men. Absolutely not all. But it is for that is not a coincidence.
So y'all got to be willing to grow.
That's not
you got to be willing to change your perspective.
No. Or how about this?
All
women have to grow and finding better ways to address
I absolutely believe.
How about that?
I absolutely agree.
Because if you keep coming with we need to talk, then coming with some heat and a complaint, you're going to keep getting the same response.
I absolutely
growing
agree.
your vocabulary
I agree.
and switch tactics and
agree.
addressing your concern or your complaint.
Absolutely.
Because every time they doing it, it ain't always a concern. Sometimes it is a complaint. Trust me. So therefore, switch it up and you don't have to worry about it.
I definitely agree. You gotta come with, once you see that he ain't, let me speak from experience. Once you see he ain't receptive to it and he's triggered by it, you got to come with a different way of doing it. And you got to check yourself. You got to look at you and how am I delivering it to him? Now, once I done changed my delivery and it's still triggering him, okay, so let me stop saying I need to talk and let me just start talking or set up what we got to have weekly meetings. And in our weekly meetings, we both get to just share whatever's on our heart, whatever's on our. That way, you ain't blindsided. You already know I'm probably coming with something. This is your opportunity to come with something. So you have to adjust, and it's a constant adjustment. And when you married, that's just what it is going to be. And I won't even say if you married. If you're in a relationship, you're gonna keep having to adjust so that y'all can win. How do we win? How, if I want him to hear me, how do I need to be for him to hear me? And I know it's gonna be some women out there that say, Candace, I'm calm. I'm not saying we need to talk. And he's still Some stuff you just gotta pray about.
And some things take time. Rome wasn't built overnight. You switched it up. But he still is feeling I need to talk. He's picking up on I need to talk vibes. He could see your facial expression. He could see your body language. Like, you ain't saying it, but look at her. Like, oh Lord, now what? I can see your whole body. I'm looking at your face. I'm looking how you looking. Like, oh man. Yeah, you didn't say it. But everything about you is saying we need to talk.
Okay, well, we need to talk.
Yeah, I agree. I'm speaking to the sisters right now. That you may say that, but again, you can say one thing, but your body, your body language, your facial expressions, you could say it out. You could be talking calm, but have a look on your face that say you mean. It's like, but I wasn't raising my voice. I wasn't cussing. Yeah, but did you see your face? That's why
they can't see their face. You know, when you telling somebody they acting, how they look.
That's
versus
my point.
you ain't gotta be cussing.
That's the point I'm making. I'm trying to help someone fix your face, your body language, your tone, the pitch. All of that can have an effect on how a person receives what you're saying.
And I would say this.
And I'm not saying every conversation needs to be, darling, baby. Sometimes, depending on what it is, you might have to look, Negro, baby. Hey, sometimes it is what it is. Like if it's severe enough, I get it.
I think it's your intentionality. If you want all things to be in alignment, like he was saying, you calm, but your face look like this. It is what is my intention in having this conversation with him or her? What do I want to get out of the conversation as to why I'm even going to talk to him? You got to be intentional. Your heart got to be in the right place. Because if you come in and you really got heat out up in your heart, you can be talking like this and it can be coming off and it's being passive aggressive. And so it's, what is it that I want to get out of this conversation? Is this truly a concern? And how do I handle it if I really have a concern? Because the reality of it is too, is some people out here that just ain't never satisfied. And it is us a complaint. I can always find something wrong. And for that person, you better go to your core beliefs because
and for that person, the person that's receiving that from that person, how do you expect him not to feel, or hell, him or her, not to be triggered when they hear that?
It's not it. The thing about I'm gonna tell you this: if you feel like you're triggered, it's something right there that needs to be healed. Period. Point blank.
Yeah,
you gotta heal it.
Yeah, that person. You ain't never satisfied. I'm sick of you.
Jesus help. So if you are even a complainer, like your stuff ain't never concerns, it's literally, you are literally complaining and you coming with all the energy of complaining.
Right.
It's something you telling yourself about them. You looking for them to do something for you. It's something, and you gotta heal it. You gotta heal that. You're never satisfied, because the reality of it is some people like that. You ain't never satisfied. I'm changing. I'm adjusting. And you just keep finding something. You keep finding something. And so that's the benefit of being in intimate relationships. It's going to cause you to heal. Period, point blank. And I ran across this scripture that I'm finna add as we getting ready to close it out. And I had it hit so many areas. It said, in everything you do, do it without complaining and arguing. In everything.
That's a scripture?
Yes. And I'm learning. I'm
starting. Hit us with the scripture.
I'm starting
let
to
the people
memorize.
Know. Let the people know.
I'm knowing it, but I got
say that one more. Ooh, that's a wow. And I feel that. In everything you do, say it or do it without what?
Arguing or complaining.
Because it could be worse.
Okay.
You complain about this car.
Philippians 2:14. Do everything with.
Say that one more time.
Philippians 2:14. This NIV. Do everything without grumbling or arguing. NLT. Do everything without complaining and arguing.
What's LT means? What does that mean?
NLT? Yeah. New Living Translation.
Oh, okay.
And so what that said to me is this. Because when you are complaining and arguing, whether you in the church, in a marriage, in an organization,
I got to take that to heart.
At work, you are basically showing that there is no unity. There is no unity, and it's a lack of understanding of God. The fact that I got to complain and argue, there is a lack going on. That we are not in alignment with God, with Source. And the thing about it is, if you are arguing and complaining about stuff, we're going to use marriage. We ain't going to use church, organization. In your marriage, and that's what you are showing to people, you are a representation.
Yeah.
So it's like, what kind of relationship do they have? For one, that they always arguing and complaining with each other.
Right.
What kind of relationship do they have with God that they arguing and complaining all the time? Because that can show they ain't got faith. They ain't got understanding.
Right.
There's a lot of darkness in their relationship. There's not concern. There's not grace. There's not love.
Come on,
There's not kindness.
Come on, girl.
It's not self-control. All the fruits of the spirit. Y'all are lacking if you are constantly complaining and arguing.
Dang.
And so you are.
That just hit home.
It's an extension to that. That's if you keep reading, it talks about your light. It arguing and complaining dims your light. If you somebody that you say you a believer, but you at work all the time arguing and complaining, you believe in God, but you constantly arguing and complaining, you hurt your witness.
You preaching to me right now.
You're hurting your witness, and I'm gonna tell you,
God, you preaching to me right now.
The conversation we had about the dude with the organization and thinking, I thought it was gonna be more than this. Like they arguing and this, that, and the other. It shows a lack of unity.
Yeah. That's why I say you're preaching to me on some personal stuff, and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's like I don't complain a lot and argue all the time, but I do complain and I do argue. And when I complain, and when I'm arguing, I'm arguing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, wow. And right now I'm in a leadership position. So the fact that I'm in a leadership position and I'm willing to argue in the manner that I'm willing to argue and to complain to the body like I'm willing to complain. Wow.
And it's asking ourselves, when we are like that, do people see God in us?
No, they see ignorant. They see, man, Tuck crazy. Tuck a fight right now. He want to fight. Look at it. Oh, look at it. What's wrong with him?
And the thing about it is, even in our marriages, he's saying he's in a leadership position. But in your marriage, you in a leadership position as a husband, even as a wife, because your kids are looking at you. They are learning how to communicate, how to be.
Dang, you
based
just
on
messed
what
me
they
up with that.
are seeing. Yeah, that was really powerful.
First Philippians, what?
No, Philippians. No, just Philippians.
Philippians 2 and 2 and 14.
2 and 14. But read 15 as well, because that's where it talks about you have to be a light in this world that is crooked.
Right.
That there's darkness. And you arguing and complain. It's almost like whatever you go through, you literally gotta be in a place of, I gotta count it all joy. How is this benefiting me?
Right.
How can I get them to see?
That's my new outlook in that position.
Amen.
That's my new outlook. And I'm gonna let it be known. This is my new outlook.
Yeah.
I am not complaining.
So we gotta take that into consideration in our relationships. Do your relationship without arguing and complaining. And we gotta look at us. We have to look at us. And it is us going and depending on God. Like some stuff I can take to him. And this is what I've learned just being a wife. I ain't gotta take all my concerns or complaints to him. Some stuff I gotta just take to God. Like I just do. And that's just what I have learned. And when it's according to the will of God, I stand in faith knowing that it's going to happen. If what I am praying for is according to God's will for my husband, as a husband or just as a person, as a believer, it's going to happen. But am I going to have the patience for it to happen? Am I going to have the patience for the manifestation of what I am praying for? So I don't take everything to him no more. There's some stuff that I feel like on a horizontal level that we can do. But it's a lot of stuff that's vertically like, let me just pray about it.
Right.
Let me just pray about it. Because it's just, arguing takes so much energy. Complaining takes so much energy. It shifted me. The verse shifted me. I was at work like, okay. Where in the past, I was entertaining certain things and being involved. I'm like, Because if I'm going to say I'm a believer and I trust God and I did move different. Move differently.
Yeah, I'm fit to take that scripture and apply it to my life a lot more. Especially that one. I mean, we should do a lot of scriptures that way. We should apply to our life. But that one, for
Yeah.
what's going on with me in the position that I have outside of the household. I have reason to complain. You know what I'm saying? I would think I have from the outside looking in. You may think you have reason to complain. You may even think you have reason to argue with some things that have been said. But no, like I wanted this position. This is the position, the seat that I'm in. I wanted it. So therefore, what you gonna complain? You wanted it, guys. Okay, here you go. Because how I got it, I wasn't supposed to get it like that. The brother stepped down. He like, nah, okay, I'm gonna resign. Hey, oh wow, I'm in it. I wanted it, but like I wasn't expecting to get it that fast. I got it. Now what? There you go. Yeah. What's that? Be careful what you ask for. You might just get it.
And that position is really growing you. Even for just this new insight. Had you not been in the position, I just believe that's how God just wove it all together. Again, the power of a wife. If you looked at the power of a wife, but yeah, it is.
I didn't even think about it. Yeah.
It's a shifting and a change, and then you get to just even off of this show. Now that he even saying this part, we can look at where not just in our relationships, but other areas in our life where we are complaining. Is it just a focus on us? If you use a scenario that I use like for Walmart and you got a complaint, is it the focus just on you? You worried about what you doing to me, how you treating me. If it's a concern, I'm gonna take it totally different because now you're affecting more than just me. This is a concern, my brothers or my sisters or office, business, boss. I got a concern because what I'm seeing. And the reality of it is when you do look at habit as a concern, it do come off different. The energy is different.
Right.
Because it's not just about you.
Right.
It's not just about me.
Right.
It's about being a servant. It's about thinking about other people. So, we got to be mindful.
Yeah.
In our relationships and in our life of, is it a complaint or is it a concern? And so I'll end this show with that somebody should have told me. It is just because your wife or your husband, if they come into you with a, I want to talk, don't automatically go into defense mode. Be willing to hear them out to see if is it a concern? Is it a complaint? Is it true? Does it not hold any weight? Because if it's coming forward, something is trying to elevate. There's something happening in your life. Even if you're looking at them coming to you in a negative way, something is trying to break through. Something is trying to grow within you, whether it's this don't make me feel good that you constantly come to me about a complaint about me. And so if maybe it's giving you an opportunity to use your voice for you, because you don't ever use your voice for you. And you just take it and you hold it, and that's unloving. So you get an opportunity to speak up for yourself. And so just know that when we are triggered, that something is seeking an elevation. Something is growing.
Okay. Somebody should have told me. I would say, if you're the one that's to my sisters, we need to talk, and you see your husband is triggered, upset, bothered, or however you want to classify it. And I said it earlier. Chess, not checkers. Be it the intelligent sister, woman that you are, use that brain. What I mean by that, figure out another tactic. You can address your complaint, your concern, without saying those words. Figure out what you need to do, when you need to do it. You know your spouse. I don't. When is the best time? When is not the best time? And it may be trial by error. You try something, that ain't it. Try that one. Whoa. Oh, okay, maybe that one. Oh, okay. boom. That's okay. But you in it for the long haul. So try to figure out how to address your concern. Watch your tone, your pitch, facial expression, body language, all of that matters.
Yeah.
All of that matters. So figure it out. You in here to death do your part, hopefully. So therefore, you have time. Do not be discouraged if you tried one way and it didn't work. Okay, so try another one. And if that didn't work, okay, try another one until you figure out the best way to communicate to address your concern or your complaint without getting the reaction you was previously getting. Baby, tell the people what we got coming in October.
Can I pick just a little bit off what you said? And I would say this. He's telling you trial by error. So if you married, get this out of your mind. I shouldn't have to do all that. I ain't gonna keep doing, but you are.
Yeah, that's
what if God kept saying
that's
every
a
time you mess up, you don't
yeah.
give? I'm tired of giving her grace.
I shouldn't have to.
I'm tired
That's
of.
a
I shouldn't
childish
have to
mindset
give you this.
if you're married.
I shouldn't have to do that for you. Look, marriage causes us to be Christ-like. So yeah. So baby said, tell y'all what's going down. October 30th through November the 2nd, we are having our third annual We Will Win Marriage Retreat in Belton, Texas at Summers Mill Retreat and Conference Center. Y'all, it's all inclusive. So your meal's taken care of, your room is taken care of, your activities, your sessions, it's all taken care of. You just got to show up. Well, once you pay, you just got to show up. You can pay the deposit of $200 to reserve your spot, and then you can pay it out all the way up until September the 30th. So you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time. You got to invest in your marriage. You cannot do this by yourself. Every year, you should make a decision to invest in your union somehow, some way, because y'all matter. We need our marriages to be healthy. We don't have to do it in toxicity. We do not. When you get skills and tools and get an understanding and get the truth with a capital T, God truth, it will shift how you show up in your union. So we hope to see you. All you got to do is go to www.spiritualmarriageretreat.com, or you can DM us. We'll send you the flyer. If you're a pastor, we ask that you share this at your church. If you have a spiritual center, share it with your organizations. Share it with everybody because it is needed. It is needed. And we thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all for tuning in with us today. We love y'all for real. We love y'all for life.
Yo.